Every single time you open Gemini, you're probably typing the same instructions over and over again. Act as my marketing assistant. Use this tone. Remember my brand guidelines. You're literally wasting minutes of your life on every single chat, just re-explaining who you are and what you need. I've been using Gemini Gems for months now, across my business, my content workflow, and even my personal projects, and I found something that most people completely overlook. These aren't just saved prompts. They're custom AI experts that remember everything, and most people are using them completely wrong.
Welcome back to bitbiased.ai, where we do the research so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts with our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the description below to subscribe. You will get the key AI news, tools, and learning resources to stay ahead.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what Gemini Gems are, how they actually work under the hood, and more importantly, how to build one from scratch in under 5 minutes. We'll cover real use cases for business, content creation, coding, and education, plus the best practices that separate a mediocre gem from one that genuinely saves you hours every week. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share some advanced workflows that most tutorials won't even mention. Let's get into it. Nanjurwer. What are Gemini Gems? Alright, so let's start with the basics, because there's a lot of confusion around what gems actually are. Think of a gem as your own custom version of Gemini. You give it a name, you write detailed instructions telling it exactly how to behave, what tone to use, what kind of output you want, and from that point on, every time you open that gem, it already knows everything. No re-explaining. No copy-pasting your system prompt from a notes app. It just works. Google launched Gems back in August 2024, and since then, they've quietly become one of Gemini's most used advanced features. The idea is simple. You save highly detailed prompt instructions for your most repeatable tasks, and optionally, you can even upload files like PDFs, documents, or link your Google Drive so the gem has actual knowledge to reference. Imagine creating a career advisor gem where your resume and job goals are already loaded in. You just ask it a question, and it gives you tailored advice instantly, no setup required. Now here's the part that makes this really practical. Gems work across the Gemini web app and the mobile app. They sync across your devices, and they're available for both personal Google accounts and Google Workspace users. For enterprise teams, there are even deeper integrations like referencing Drive files directly and compliance controls, which we'll touch on later. How gems actually work. Now here's where it gets interesting, because understanding the architecture helps you build much better gems. When you select a gem, what's actually happening behind the scenes is that Gemini loads your saved instructions and any uploaded files before it even sees your actual question. It's essentially preloading context. So your gem's persona, task description, formatting rules, all of that gets injected into the conversation automatically. There are a few key components to understand here. First, you've got the instructions themselves, which act as system-level prompts. Then you've got the optional knowledge files, up to 10 files per gem, which can be PDFs, code files, images, or even linked Drive documents. When you start a chat with that gem, all of this gets sent to the Gemini model along with your query. And you can also pre-assign tools to your gem. So for example, if you're building a research-focused gem, you can set it to automatically use deep research mode. That means every time you open that gem, it's already configured to chain web searches and pull in external data without you having to toggle anything. One important thing to know though, there's currently no public API for gems. They live entirely inside the Gemini app. So you can't programmatically create or call gems from a script or an external tool. It's UI only for now, although that's something the community has been requesting for a while. Who should be using gems? Use cases. So who is this actually for? Honestly, the range of use cases is wider than most people think. Let me walk you through the main categories. Starting with business professionals. This is probably where gems shine the brightest. Marketing teams are building gems that analyze customer data, calculate acquisition costs, and forecast growth, all from uploaded spreadsheets and company reports. Google even provides pre-made business gems like marketing insights, sales pitch ideator, and hiring consultant right out of the box. Imagine your HR team having a gem loaded with your company's job templates and interview guides. They paste in a candidate profile and instantly get tailored interview questions. That's not theoretical. Companies are already doing this. For developers and engineers, gems become incredibly powerful coding assistants. You can upload your team's style guide, your code-based documentation, even specific libraries, and the gem will reference all of it when helping you write, debug, or refactor code. One developer built a Python refactorer gem that enforces their team's architectural patterns across every code review. That level of consistency is hard to get even with human reviewers. Content creators, this is your playground. There are pre-made gems for generating SEO blog posts, creating illustrated storybooks from a single topic, and even writing viral social media hooks. If you're running a content operation, think about building gems for your specific brand voice, your content calendar structure, or your newsletter format. But here's where it gets really impressive. Education. K-12 teachers are using gems to generate quizzes, lesson plans aligned to their specific district standards, and even personalized accommodations for students with learning differences. A superintendent in Illinois uploaded all of their school board's policy documents into a single gem, and now new board members can ask questions about governance and get accurate answers pulled straight from official policy text. That's institutional knowledge made accessible in seconds. And honestly, even for personal use, gems are surprisingly handy. Recipe finders with your dietary preferences loaded in. Personal finance assistants with your budget categories, travel planners, language tutors. If you use Gemini regularly and find yourself repeating context, there's probably a gem for that. How to create a gem. Step by step. Alright, so now let's actually build one. I'm going to walk you through this step by step, and you'll see just how quick the whole process is. First, head to gemini.google.com and sign in with your Google account. On the left panel, you'll see a section called Explore Gems. Click on that. Then hit the New Gem button, which should be right at the top. Now you'll get a creation dialog with a few fields. Start by giving your gem a clear, descriptive name. Something like Weekly Newsletter Writer or Client Email Coach, not Bot 1. Trust me, when you've got 15 gems in your list, naming matters. Next comes the most important part, the instructions. This is where you define everything about how your gem behaves. Think of it in 4 pillars. Persona. Who is this gem? You are a senior content strategist specializing in B2B SaaS. Task. What should it do? Help me write LinkedIn posts that drive engagement. Context. Any rules or constraints? Keep the tone professional but approachable and avoid jargon. And format. What should the output look like? Write in paragraph form, not bullet points, and keep posts under 200 words. The more specific you are here, the better your results will be. And if you're not sure how to phrase your instructions, there's actually a magic wand icon built right into the interface. Click it, and Gemini will rewrite or expand your instructions for clarity. It's like having an AI prompt engineer built into the Gem Builder. On the right side, you'll see a preview panel. Type in a test prompt and see how your gem responds before you even save it. This is incredibly useful for fine-tuning. Just remember, previewing doesn't automatically save your gem, so make sure to hit save when you're happy with the results. If you want to take it a step further, click Add Files. You can upload documents from your computer or pull them directly from Google Drive. Up to 10 files per gem. This is where gems go from useful to genuinely powerful. because now your AI assistant isn't just following instructions, it's referencing real data. Upload your brand guidelines, your content calendar, your project documentation, whatever makes sense for the task. Hit save, and your gem appears in your My Gems list. Done. You can now access it anytime, on any device. Sharing and collaborating on gems. Now here's something a lot of people miss. Gems aren't just for personal use. You can share them with your team, your clients, or even publicly. Click the share icon next to any gem and you'll see options to invite specific people by email with either viewer or editor access. Viewers can use the gem but can't modify the instructions. Editors can change everything. Think of it exactly like sharing a Google Doc. You can also grab a shareable link and send it through Slack, email, wherever. Anyone with that link and the right permissions can start using your gem immediately. For workspace organizations, you can even share organization-wide or set anyone with link access. Now, one thing to be mindful of here. When you share a gem, you're implicitly sharing the instructions and any uploaded files. So if you've loaded sensitive company data into a gem, make sure your access controls are tight. Don't share a gem publicly if it contains proprietary information. There's no official gem store yet from Google, but communities are already forming around sharing notable gems. Educators have edugems.ai, where teachers post and reuse each other's gems. Creators share them on social media and blogs. It's becoming a grassroots ecosystem of custom AI tools. NORSUS, best practices that actually matter. All right, so you know how to build a gem. But here's what separates a gem that kind of works from one that becomes indispensable. Number 1, be ridiculously specific in your instructions. Vague instructions produce vague results. If you want your gem to write in your voice, give it examples of your writing. If you want it to format things a certain way, show it exactly what that looks like. The 4 pillars framework, persona, task, context, format, is your best friend here. Number 2, test relentlessly using the preview panel. Don't just save and hope for the best. Run 5 or 6 different prompts through your gem before you finalize it. You'll often catch edge cases where the instructions need tightening. Number 3, upload files strategically. Don't dump every document you have into a gem. Be intentional. Upload the specific files that directly inform the task. A marketing gem needs your brand guidelines, not your entire company handbook. And if you're using drive links, keep in mind that changes to those files sync automatically, which is great for keeping things current, but also means you need to be careful about what you link. Number 4, name and organize your gems with intention. Use prefixes like work, or content, or personal, so you can find things quickly when your list grows. Trust me, it will grow faster than you think. And number 5, treat your gems as living tools. Update them as your business evolves, as your writing style changes, as new projects come in. A gem you set up 6 months ago might need a refresh to match your current workflow. One more critical thing: safety and privacy. Follow Google's content guidelines. Don't instruct a gem to do anything that violates their terms of service. And remember, anyone with access to a shared gem can see its instructions and files, so never put truly sensitive personal data in a gem you plan to share. Plans, pricing, and limitations. Let's talk about what you actually get at each pricing tier, because this matters. The free plan gives you access to gems with a basic model, around 32,000 tokens of context, and roughly 30 prompts per day. It works, but it's limited. Google AI Plus at about $12 a month bumps you up to 128,000 tokens of context, around 100 prompts per day, and includes the more powerful Gemini Pro 3.1 model, along with features like Canvas and deep research. And then there's Google AI Pro at $30 a month, which gives you a massive 1 million token context window, up to 500 prompts per day, image generation credits, and code assist integration. For organizations on Google Workspace, Gems are part of Gemini Advanced. You get all the pro-level features, plus admin controls, data retention settings, and compliance certifications like HIPAA and SOC. Now for limitations. There are a few things to keep in mind. You can upload a maximum of 10 files per gem. There's no API access, so everything is through the Gemini app interface. Gems don't currently work with Gemini Live Voice Mode or in third-party integrations. And like any AI system, Gems can hallucinate, especially if your instructions are vague. Always verify critical outputs, and remember that Google's data isn't used for model training without your permission in workspace environments. Advanced workflows. All right, now for the part I think you'll find most valuable. Advanced workflows that go beyond basic gem usage. First, try chaining gems together. For complex tasks, use one gem to refine your research question, copy its output, then paste that into a different gem designed for execution. For example, a research prompter gem gives you the perfect query, and then your coding mentor gem turns that into actual code. It's like building a manual AI pipeline. Second, combine gems with other Gemini features. Start a chat with your gem, generate some text, then ask it to create an image using Canvas, or trigger deep research to pull in live web data. The multi-tool workflow within a single gem session is incredibly seamless. Third, if your organization is on Workspace, leverage scheduled actions. You can set a gem to run at intervals, like a daily analytics summary or a weekly content brief. Pair that with drive-linked files that update automatically, and you've got a self-refreshing AI workflow that requires almost zero manual input. Fourth, don't start from scratch every time. Google provides pre-made gems like Brainstormer, Coding Partner, Learning Coach, and Career Guide. Copy one, customize the instructions to your needs, and you've got a solid starting point without spending 20 minutes writing a prompt from nothing. And finally, if you're working in a team, co-create your gems. Have different team members contribute to the instructions based on their expertise. The shared editor access makes this possible, and the result is a gem that reflects the collective knowledge of your entire team, not just one person's perspective. So to recap, Gemini Gems let you build custom AI experts that remember your instructions, reference your files, and deliver personalized results every single time. Whether you're a business professional trying to streamline repetitive tasks, a developer who wants an AI coding partner that knows your code base, a content creator building out a production workflow, or an educator personalizing learning for your students, Gems are one of the most underutilized features in the entire Gemini ecosystem. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, drop a comment below and tell me what kind of gem you're going to build first. I'm genuinely curious to see what you all come up with. And if this is the kind of AI deep dive content you want more of, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.